Now make that a cold open, future Gary. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the Tidbit Cast. My name is Gary and this is...
Oh, you're pointing at me! Colm!
And this is...
David!
Because process of elimination, you have to be next. This is Tidbit Cast, where we pick a topic, each of us, and then we just talk about that. And you can find us on all social media platforms, most of them on this Facebook and Instagram at TidbitCast, and also on Spotify, YouTube, and other places. And send us, whatever comments, opinions, observations to talktotidbit@gmail.com.
What about Twitter?
We're not on Twitter.
No.
Apparently not. Apparently we're not on Twitter.
Apparently not.
I embarrassed myself last time. Good thing that podcast got deleted.
So, Gary, I believe it's your topic now.
Yeah, it's my topic.
What is it?
We're also doing this in the dark, which is why...
It's a
No
dark
one
cast.
will believe you.
They will. Well, they're not going to be able to see us anyway, so it makes
Neither
sense.
can we.
Wait, we should do that from now on, actually. We should just blindfold ourselves and make sure that nobody sees us. Because we
So, yeah,
can
your
see
topic is...
Okay, so my topic is, if you would create a game,
Yes.
what would you do?
Based on a franchise, or...
No, well, yes. But you get to create a game. But
Wait.
I would more like to see if you created a game. Original game. What would you do? I want you to create a game.
Right now.
Right now, just an idea for a game.
Pitch a game.
An idea for a game, okay, because if I had to create a game, it would be very limited.
Yeah, it would also be
Yeah.
it would be one of the longest podcasts ever.
Okay, if I was going to create a game, I would love to create an open sandbox medieval kind of RPG game where basically there's no necessarily health system. You have one life to a certain degree and damage is realistic. If you take a damage to the leg, you start off with max stats basically. You take damage to your leg is never going to heal the same again. You take damage to your arms are never going to heal the same again. You take damage to the head,
What about your shoulder?
you're pretty much dead. Your shoulder will never be as good again.
What about your calf?
So this is hardcore Fallout 4.
More or less, but I'd want it in a way that the damage kind of stay. I know this is all like superfluous stuff, but I'd want it in a way that if you take a cut and it heals, it stays with you forever, and that cut is always there with you, and you can go like, that's the time I walked into a bear trap, and there's the scar of the bear trap on your foot.
Yeah.
Your say all your stats start at 100, your speed is 100, your strength is 100, but then as time goes on, the game gets harder because you get weaker, and it's all a matter of skill.
So you can't go past those limits then?
You can't surpass your limits.
Okay.
The only thing you can do is
Get
try to hold on to your past glory.
So that would mean that no zone is actually like a starter zone.
No.
It's just that the starter character is the most powerful.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite thing of where you can't go to places that have like harder enemies until you get better. It's that
But the combat,
you're able to go to them now. It's just that later on you.
I'd love the combat to be like
Skill-based.
a bit like For Honor actually.
It would have to be skill based because then it would actually allow you to get destroyed.
So are you OP at the start then?
Yeah.
Yeah? Your stats are really high at the start.
No, they're
No?
perfectly adequate. Insofar as like,
average.
and you're not losing massive, like depending on the difficulty you set, you're not losing massive amounts of points for what happens to you. At least that's what I'm thinking.
So this would depend on the player.
Yeah, player skill. And as you get further into the game, you're more relying on skill than you are on your abilities. So you're more relying on, because For Honor has things like counter feints and stuff like that. So you're more relying on that than you are relying on your ability to take a hit and then just kill them. That's what I think anyway.
Okay.
I don't know if it'd be good, but
Okay.
Could be.
So that would be your main thing. Would you add all of the usual stuff like being able to? Because when you say open world fantasy RPG, I also think of Kingdom Come Deliverance, which also has that thing of being very realistic in that you want to save, you have to spend like 3 minutes cooking up this drink that when you use it lets you save. and stuff like that. And when you die, like you die, and your injuries stay with you as well.
I like the idea of
Consequence.
not necessarily consequence, but I like the idea of your character. Each character becomes unique because you.
Here's your story, what you enter.
Yeah, regardless of what the actual character questline is, your character has a story to tell because they look like this or they're shaped like this, and everyone's character is uniquely shaped not by the way they make them at the start of the game, but by the way they choose to live their lives throughout the game. So like a character that always takes horses everywhere and never walks anywhere is going to put on a bit of extra weight. A character that, generally speaking, uses a bow a lot more is going to have more atrophy in the shoulders or something like that, you know? Because your character should, in my opinion, in this game that I'm creating, should age not as you're playing,
Not real time.
but there should be jumps in age, and based on, because obviously it's a mechanic that would be hard to work out, but based on how you acted in the last chapter, maybe your skills would go down in a certain way, and everyone who's replaying the game would be like, okay, I don't want this skill to go down, I have to try to balance this, you know. So there'd be mad rushes to figure out how to do it. I don't know, I don't necessarily think that's actually particularly good. I would like to keep it without chapters or anything like that, but I think it'd be pretty cool to have a character that starts off strong and gets weaker as the game goes on, you know?
Yeah.
The complete opposite of the game that you'd usually have in that genre.
Yeah, because it's almost like at the start of the game, everything is easy because you're learning the ropes, and then it gets harder not because you need more equipment and more things.
Become withered.
Yeah, but because your attacks do less damage. You can't swing your sword as many times without getting knackered, and you can't run as fast as you used to be able to. You know.
So you become fresh and then you become withered.
Yeah.
Like real life.
As the game continues.
But as your body fails, your mind becomes sharper because you get better at the game.
So maybe your reflexes can get better.
No,
Nah.
no, you get better. As in you get Gary, you get better at the game.
Okay.
Also, there's dragons.
So if
Yeah, there's dragons. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I can't wait to die to them.
Yeah.
When you're old. Can't run away from them.
Okay.
That's I could talk more, but that's my.
I think I kind of talk more then.
No, I'd like I don't know whether it would implement magic, but I love the idea of, I told you this before, a game where, do you know the way in games you can take a full arrow to the chest, or an arrow to the head and just continue on.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, disregarding just for the moment hitboxes and stuff like that. I'd love a game where every blow is actually a glancing blow, and only blows that are full contact. The last blow is always the full contact blow that kills you, so that you're not necessarily shrugging off like this guy's ultimate power swing. It barely misses you, and that is by your estimations, that's a hit in the game's estimation of taking down your life bar. That is a full hit, because I always hate these games where like you take like 6 bullets and then you just shoot a guy once and he's dead.
Yeah.
I want you to be just as weak as everyone around you, but stronger because you know the mechanics.
Would your game have loot boxes?
Loot boxes?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There was actually an interesting thing put forward that all of those games that have, like the screen starts to turn red or black and white like Uncharted, that's all a luck-based system. So what actually happens in like Uncharted, for example, he's never actually getting shot. What's happened is that his luck is running out, and that's what the red around the screen is.
That's the Sly Raccoon is basically based on that.
Yeah,
but the frustrating thing about those games is you can see the bullets going into
you.
Or going into him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know. But they said that apparently this is the idea for it. That's the idea for like having the whole like black and white and stuff like that. That it was supposed to be a luck based system. But that's what they said like in the last few months anyway.
Yeah.
which I think is actually interesting. I don't
It's
know.
better than having a health bar, you know.
Yeah.
Because like I like the idea that you're death by 1,000 cuts, you know.
Yeah.
That's what kills you. Finally that bullet that hit you,
Yeah.
and the only reason they hit you is because you've been hit by all these grazing
Yeah,
blows.
because it makes more sense. It's not like
You got two shots to the chest.
I think it's called ludology. I might be wrong in saying that, but things that don't make sense because game. Like for example in Uncharted, where it looks like you get shot like thousands of times, but then the one shot that's in the cutscene is the one that hits them.
Oh yeah, that's that's called like cutscene immunity or cutscene, you know.
I think there's a name for like that kind of thing of the game working because it makes sense for the story.
Yeah. But I want a game where if I get shot like that in the game,
The story is involved.
yeah, like I want a character that by the end of the game he's covered in cuts, or maybe not if I'm really good at the game. He's covered in cuts, and these people asking for quests from you are just like, Jesus, that guy's been through a lot. Wow,
I feel sorry for you.
that guy's tough.
I was just pointing at you.
And like the more scars you have, the more respect you have as well. But that's the consequence of getting your ass handed to you so many
That
times.
guy got hit a lot. He's cool.
You know, like anytime, say if in the game,
You can fool people into thinking that you're really, really good at it by just getting your ass kicked.
yeah,
And then just going, yeah, I've been in a lot of fights. Like, oh, clearly you have been in a lot of fights. Let's give you a lot of gold to do this mission.
yeah,
Failed
You
mission.
intimidate people even though you've never done a single mission.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
You got in one fight and almost died.
Anyway, that's mine.
Yeah, I do actually like the idea of you using, which is very similar to like the way I like games being made, which is that the story is involved in the game mechanics. They both make sense. Both of them are a part of it. So I would do the same thing actually, in that I would make, it would probably be a JRPG, because it makes the most sense in this kind of game, or it could be an action game, but I wanted that the use of mana actually destroys the world.
Okay.
So because in all these games they always say that like mana is life energy. It's the life energy of the world. It's the natural energy that's moving around, and you just use it to physicalize all of the energy. You're able to harness it and be able to like create fire where there wasn't fire. It's that you're using the energy to make it into fire.
You're stealing the energy from the world.
Yeah, but in all these games, it's that people just use it and become mages and stuff. I would like the idea that every time somebody uses magic, it actually harms the world a little bit. And so that will actually... But then you would have to force the player to... Because then what would happen is that you just have people who just, I'll just use swords and bows all the time. But I would like it then that actually... this platform is going to fall, and there's a character on it that's, one of your player characters.
So they need to use it.
So, the platform's going to fall, but you can use magic to keep it lifted up. Or this half of your party is going to be slain, but it's going to be like fire's about to breathe on them. You can put a shield up, but suddenly like a forest will slightly wither. Like the game world has to change if you use magic like that.
What about those people that would be just like, I'm going to use magic for everything and cheese through this game?
The world
would be just the world would die.
And what?
Volcanoes and shit.
And is that bad for your story?
Volcanoes
Does your
kill you.
character care about that?
I imagine so. I haven't fully mapped out this entire thing because I haven't made it, but
My story was fully complete.
Yeah, fully. Have dragons.
I don't know. I'd say that then you'd have to force them not to do that. It would just kill all your characters and enter your party. You'd have to find a balance that you're comfortable with. I mean, that you'd have to be forced to do it, but at the same time not be forced. You'd have to be forced into doing it, but at the same time it can't be something that would just completely ruin you. There has to be a happy medium there. Because it's dual purpose then. Because it means that it is a story thing, but it would help you in combat. It's like when you have those people who are trying to do breaking genre conventions is very nice.
If it's done well.
Yeah. like what Colm was saying with trying to make it that's the opposite of other RPGs, with starting out really powerful, and as you go on, it actually gets progressively harder for you. Whereas usually it's that it gets progressively easier if you just level up your character.
I just love the idea that the world doesn't change. Despite the fact that you're one person, the world around you, there's no such thing as a man that's level 20. Like, this guy is in full plate mail. The only way you're going to be able to beat him is if you know how to beat a guy in full plate mail. You know, that's my thought in here. Like, I like the idea that experience is more valuable than brute force.
There is a first-person adventure game that is doing that with equipment, and that they're very, I don't know how to say it, faithful. They're very faithful to how the equipment actually is. Like, the only way to beat somebody in plate mail is to actually hit the weaknesses in the plate mail and get under the armor with your sword. And that's how the combat works in this medieval setting. And so they actually have the real resistance to them, and you can only like use like a hammer to destroy plate mail and stuff. They can't like use a sword because it probably won't go through at the point. So you have to be able to like bash the person and cause trauma.
Yeah.
And so it's like very realistic ways of fighting. I can't remember the name of the game, but I imagine you'd be interested in it, at least.
Sword and mount.
Sword mount. Yeah, I would have something where the world would be destroyed by mana. And so it means that I'd say only your party can use it, or they find some crystal that they have to move, and that allows them to use the mana, but then, overusing the crystal means that the world gets slightly destroyed. I think like it would have to be like an emotional standpoint. Like, imagine like characters, family and party members would die, and so it would mean that if you...
And the reason they died is because you come back to your farm that you grew up on and you find out that the whole farm is decayed and rotting because you used too much magic.
Yeah, it would also mean that...
You killed your family.
Accidentally.
And it would mean that...
But you knew you were dead.
Family members go away, or maybe it would actually... Here's an interesting thought then. Imagine then that the more you do it, the more it warps nature. So therefore enemies do get harder if you use it. So it means that the more you use the magic, the harder it gets. So sometimes you're forced to use magic to save people.
Kind of like Final Fantasy.
By doing that, you kind of warp the world and it gets harder.
Have either of you guys played Final Fantasy 15?
I haven't played any of them.
So 15, obviously, as you go through the story, it gets darker and darker. The days get shorter, so the game gets harder.
Okay, yeah.
Because enemies come out at night.
Yeah.
Best way to describe it. Harder enemies come out at night.
Minecraft.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I imagine it being like, because in that game the world kind of does start to warp eventually.
Yeah, kind of. But this would like be a more like...
Player controlled.
Yeah, more player control. It's not just going to be like a day and night cycle. It's actually going to be that, oh no, you cannot revert this, you cannot go back to daytime and say, no, you've actually like just essentially screwed up.
You kind of like a million people going, okay, so I did a 100% warp version of the game and I did a 0% warp version of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you could anyway, that's what kind of game I'd like. I'd like the story and game mechanics to be, to coalesce, because it's more interesting then, because then it feels like you have more immersion in the game if it's actually being controlled kind of like by you.
Yeah.
David, give me your
Mine
idea.
would be an open world sandbox game.
Fucking loves it.
It's based in a city. You can go around, you can stop crime if you want, but you can also steal cars. And you can swing around the city if you want. So
Spider-Man GTA.
Exactly. That's all I want.
David,
I want Spider-Man GTA
today
crossover.
when we were playing Spider-Man and you said, God, Spider-Man GTA would be such a good game.
It would be.
I just was like, all I thought was, I wonder if David's going to use that.
And
as
now
his
I
thing.
did. You're
I was
welcome.
like, yeah, David would use
But
that.
like, two ways to travel. You can either steal cars. Okay, also, you can kill pedestrians and all, In Spider-Man, you can't.
Such a chancer.
Yeah, so you can travel by car or travel by web. That would be such a cool game. And you can kill people. Okay, you can also turn into the black suit. So you can kill people and be evil and stuff, Or you can go around and be good. It's also like Shadow the Hedgehog. You can pick which side you want to be on. Am I the only one feeling this?
Wait, what side do you want to be on in terms of like the people who
Good
steal?
or bad?
What are the good and bad benefits?
None.
Killing people.
Do they have different powers?
Maybe. if you like go into the darker side more, you'll get more venom sparrows, and you'll be in the black suit more often.
If you get on the good side, you won't get shot by cops.
Yeah, you can still steal cars.
Because that's what they allow Spider-Man to do. Steal
I just want to steal cars and swing. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there is a game that does that.
Which?
Prototype!
Oh.
You can't be Spider-Man in that.
You pretty much are.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Is Mary Jane in it? Is Miles Morales in it? No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, they are. DLC.
Well, the guy in the second game.
Yeah. He looks like Miles Morales.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's the same.
Does he become Spider-Man?
He got the same style. He got the hoodie. He got the shaved head. You know, man.
Yeah. So they play Prototype.
I might.
The prototype 2.
Can you steal cars?
Yeah.
Steel cars.
This
Yeah.
sounds interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the swing mechanic like?
Pretty fun.
As fun as Spider-Man?
And you can glide as well.
You can glide. You can jump. Very high.
Okay.
Maybe you should play Crackdown.
I think that's a natural conclusion.
Yeah. So I think we all agree Spider-Man GTA crossover. That's what we want. Yeah?
I want my game of misery.
I want the world to be destroyed slowly.
Or fast, based on how much you use.
Yeah, based on how much you use it. Just imagine, like, you use magic and then suddenly, like, the flowers that were around your character start to, like, just wither and turn brown.
Imagine jumping out of a speeding car and then swinging. I'm just saying.
Sounds like necromancy to me.
Thank you very much for listening to the Dividend Cast. My name is Gary, and this was...
David.
And this was...
Colm.
You can find us on all...
Well,
Most.
Some of.
I always say all.
A couple.
Most social media platforms, such as Facebook and Instagram.
And
That's all
MySpace.
of them. And MySpace.
And Bebo.
And also on Voodoo.
and Vine.
And you can listen to us on Spotify. YouTube is the easiest place if you want to support us, and then Google Podcasts and iTunes, and where you'd imagine most places to be, apart from SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. I want to get on so bad.
We're not going to go on SoundCloud.
No, we are.
Screw it.
Don't you ruin my dreams.
We don't need it.
Lovers tips.
We do. We need it.
You can also, talk to us with any comments, opinions, observations, or corrections, if there's been any, to talktotidbit@gmail.com. That is, Colm.
talktotidbit@gmail.com.
That is.
talktotidbit@gmail.com.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week.
I won't.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a good night. Or morning.